Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Graham Boyd, Xbox Live's AC Bongos. We're here live on Mixer, and it is my favourite time of Gamescom week because finally I get to talk about Forza Motorsport 7 and play it, more importantly, which is going to be great. And I'm joined, of course, by Bill Giese, the creative director of Forza Motorsport. How are you, Bill?
Good. How are you? It's good to see you.
Yeah,
good to see you.
We've been spending some time together
Absolutely.
this week,
I'm so happy to do this specifically because we were going to bring the show floor demo, and I said, no, not for my graham cracker. I got to bring him the actual behind closed doors. I want to give him, I don't know, I just made that up. But I wanted to bring something special and show off
some
of the stuff that we're showing off in the behind closed doors.
Well, it's a really important point in this, right? So, of course, Forza Motorsport 7 is playable here at Gamescom. We've got it running on Xbox One X in the experience over there, which is great. It's out on the show floor as well. This is a completely different demo.
Correct.
That you can only see here if you come to Gamescom and you're like press or trade, and you get snuck into the business center.
The business center.
Which not everyone can get into.
You need 2 passes to get in. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. And BCD stands for behind closed doors, right?
Technical.
So this is super behind the scenes stuff, and Bill's brought it for me,
for Graham.
For his graham cracker.
For Graham.
But also for you guys at home as well. So I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no problem. So what we have here is,
just before we get into
it, sure.
You've also brought something else very special, haven't you?
Yes, no, you brought something special. So I brought Graham this wonderful demo, and like minutes before, he ran off and got me these.
Look at them.
Now I have 4 children. Yes. Aren't those beautiful? And I got to say, these are so comfortable. They're so nice. Thank you so much.
Hey, after a long week at Gamescom, sometimes it's nice just to kick off the shoes and get some slides
on. Flippy-floppies on and you're set.
But those Xbox slides are actually, they're in the swag bag when you go through the Xbox One X experience. We wanted to do something that was quite summery.
It's perfect.
And I don't know, it's a weird thing, but in Europe this summer, slides like that are like the most fashionable thing you can wear.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what happened.
I would
be
be a
all
model
the cool
here
kids
then.
are walking around with slides on.
That's great.
And this is the thing, right? Slides and white socks. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Right?
I would definitely be a supermodel here. Holy cow. Wow.
It's dad fashion.
Dad fashion, totally.
Anyway, so from that kind of rubber to this kind of rubber.
Rubber to rubber.
Let's
Look at
talk
the
about
segue.
Forza Motorsport 7. Right, so what's the demo you've got for us?
So we have Forza Motorsport 7 here running on the Xbox One X. And it's awesome to finally bring it here and show. I'm going to walk you through a bunch of stuff. I'm going to walk you through our campaign. I'm going to show you a bunch of new driver gear, how our reward system works. But more than anything, the last few years, after our team at Turn 10, we shipped Forza Motorsport 6. We took our Forza Tech engine and we brought it to Forza 6 Apex. So we brought it to the PC. We got Windows, Windows 10, DX12. Got our feet wet a little bit, learning about PC development. Then we obviously released Forza Horizon 3 on Xbox One as well as PC. And so it's been great to kind of ruminate the Forza Tech engine and get it on PC. And then what you're seeing here is obviously kind of the pinnacle of that work.
It looks absolutely incredible.
We're so happy.
What have you been hearing from people, again, I keep saying this week, but Gamescom's great because it's real gamers, it's real Xbox fans that are here getting hands-on on this. What have you been hearing about that immediate visual impact you see on the X?
People have been, we've got nothing but positive feedback on it. Again, the look of the car. We've got 3 demos or experiences the players can do. They can drive the brand new 911 Gt2 Rs, which I'll talk a bit about how awesome that car is. We've got the Radical that they can do a hot lap on Sonoma, and then we've got the GTR, and they can do this awesome rain race on the Nürburgring. And it's awesome. Again, it's both on PC and Xbox One X there, but again, just to be able to highlight the game in native 4K, HDR, and a rock-solid 60 frames per second.
You guys at Turn 10, you're always pushing the hardware to the max anyway, right?
We really try.
You've always done that. It must have been a gift for you guys to get your hands on an X so early.
So, I can't tell you. Like, I've been in development for 20 years. I've launched titles on the GameCube, on the Xbox 360. Like, having the Xbox One X, has been a gift. Because, again, it's 6 teraflops. The thing's a beast. And so as we brought it in for the first time, we were turning things on and going, oh, this works and this works. And, it's awesome. So it's been a gift. And for us, to develop for it, the techniques obviously go into 4K and HDR. We've updated our image-based lighting, our dynamic cube map. But by doing all this hard work, it automatically made, the Xbox One version look better. We were able to lower our min spec to like the i5 750, and that looks great. So again, it was charging the way for the Xbox One X and high-end PCs, made all versions of the game look better.
Presumably you were building this, but particularly these car models. You must have been building these in like ridiculous high resolution anyway,
Absolutely.
and then having to scale it back essentially for the hardware, right?
Well, no,
So
I
it's
mean,
just-
when we build it, exactly, we can, ever since Forza Motorsport 6, we started to build in 4K, do our assets, our textures in 4K,
Yeah.
And that's great, and again, it's just all the little techniques that you do. You can say, well, wow, gosh, we can actually do this on Xbox One as well.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I play in a Surface Pro at my office, and like, oh my God, this actually works on this too.
Yeah.
It's been a godsend.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the demo. Let's see what we've got. Yeah.
So a couple things I want to highlight. First, obviously, the gorgeous, brand new 911 Gt2 Rs.
That's beautiful.
Earlier this year, we announced an exclusive 6-year partnership with Porsche. We obviously announced this car to the world. It's great for fans here at Gamescom. The car is actually here on the show floor, and it's a beast. The fastest production 911 car that they've ever made. Fans can go check it out, and it's great again. If you're not at Gamescom, you're not in Germany, you can drive it in Forza Motorsport 7, which is awesome.
Yep.
So, a couple things I'm going to walk you through today. I'm going to walk you through our brand new campaign. I'm going to show you some of our brand new gear. So let's just jump into it. All right, so here we have our brand new campaign, the Forza Drivers Cup. And what we really wanted to do for our players, we've got a bunch of campaign players, and they really want, something that's motorsport inspired, that they can progress at their own pace. And so for the Forza Racing Championship, they've got 6 major championships that they work their way through to get to the creme de la creme, the Forza Drivers Cup. And it spans, the car division span the over 700 cars we have in the game. And what's great, it's motorsport inspired in that you can have series point scoring, and what's different between the real world versus what we can do is with the different divisions that you have, from LMP cars to rally cars, muscle cars. You're going to see some really cool ones in here. Those series points, they carry between divisions, and that's not something they do in real motorsport. So it's cool to do that to our fans. Okay. And not only that, fans are going to get really exclusive gear. So as they progress through, they'll get exclusive driver gear or Forza Edition cars. Now, Forza Edition cars are awesome because they'll have unique tunes tied to them, wide body kits. We've got some really cool mod effects, like they get more credits or more XP when they use them, but they can only get them by completing these championships.
I love that you're bringing in those collectibles. It's almost like loot, right?
It's
got that feel
great,
to me.
absolutely. And when I'll show you at the very end when we get level up and reward, there's some really cool things that we're going to be doing to reward the players. So here we are in the first championship, the Secret Championship. And again, you can kind of get a sense of some of the diversity, trophy trucks, the supercar, racing the McLaren F1, an awesome car, the 959 to, the Polaris Razor. There's such diversity players can do. And so as they're going from race to race and they're completing their car divisions, getting series points, if they fall in love with a car and they want to stay in it longer, they can take it to any one of the open divisions, which is cool. So players can go through and stay with that car longer. Now, if you're familiar with Forza 6, we had what was called showcase events.
Yep.
Showcase events are really cool ways to highlight unique cars, unique modes of play. We got limo bowling. But more than that, it was a great way for us to engage players with our automotive enthusiasts. And we've got some great ones for Forza Motorsport 7. People like Ken Block, Magnus Walker, Lynn St. James. And so you get these great perspectives from these race car drivers from past and present, these car enthusiasts. And they tell you, again, what it's like to be in a car at peak. Or, we've got some car designers that actually build cars, and they tell you, the feeling of going from clay to what it looks like when it rolls out off the factory floor.
That's cool.
But more importantly, it's all about car collecting. And the cars that you race in these showcases, you can only get here. And car collecting is going to be a huge component to Forza 7. And I'll talk a little bit about that at the very end. For now, let's jump into the exotic GT series, the 6S GTR for a spin. One other really cool thing we wanted to reimagine for our players is keeping them on track, doing what they love. So with interactive loading, they can change their car, they can tune.
Oh, I love that.
And they can change their driver gear.
Nice.
So for the first time in Forza, we've pulled the driver out of the car. And we have over 300 racing suits that span, decades of race history, when men were men and they killed themselves because they wore leather helmets, to, the modern day, racing with a Hans device.
Cool.
And then, the whimsy of, what it would look like on track. You know, and it was really great for us to be, you know, to think about obviously multiplayer and
that looked good with your
That's a really good one.
Phil.
I was gonna say, and this demo is all dad demo, by the way, 100% dad demo.
All the dads together.
Yeah. But also for both male and female drivers. So if you want to do that too. But what's great again about, you know, you think about multiplayer, or showing up to the podium, seeing, you know, these unique pieces of gear, but even in the campaign, in the Drivers' Cup with our Drivatar system. So, you know, your Drivatars learn how you drive. They use your cars, your liveries that you have, and now they're going to have the drivers that look like you.
So your driver's really going to be a lot of personality around that, right?
Absolutely.
Which I think the Forza community's been asking for. In
Absolutely.
That
I mean, we've always focused on the car. The car's the star.
Yeah.
Pulling the driver out, it's allowed us to make the environment feel more human. You know, you saw earlier we were in a garage, and pulling the driver out gives a sense of scale and weight to the scene.
There's so many great personalities and characters in the Forza community already. I think this is going to be another way for them to really, like, you know, have their character visible to everybody.
And I can't wait. There's going to be really unique rewards in the way that we play these things.
All right,
so let's jump onto the track. I'm going to choose this one just because it looks so awesome. All right, so today's demo, a track, again, we're not showing on the show floor. I'm taking you to Suzuka.
Good.
Some really cool things. Before we hit the track really quick, another one of the cool things we reimagined for Forza 7 is our mod system. So mods is something we introduced in 6, and it was a way for players to get boosts and some extra credits. And we've really doubled down on it now. So you used to have to change your assists, and based on your assists, you get more credits. We've pulled that system out entirely.
Okay.
So for players, they can pause the race, change their assist, and be fine. Now it's all about mods.
Right.
So we want players to challenge themselves, you know. Try to take to a braking line. Maybe don't get, you know, go to manual. You know, try to really challenge yourself. And if you do, you're going to get some great credits. And another great thing for our campaign players is now they have race length tools. So if they want to turn every campaign race into a 45-minute race, knock yourself out. That tied with mods, you're going to make some serious bank. Nice. All right, let's race. See, now I got to talk and race.
Encouraging you to actually evolve your skills in Forza.
Absolutely.
As well, right? I mean, I remember that someone told me that I would. We were doing a lap time challenge, and they were like, are you automatic or manual? And I was like, oh, I'm automatic. And they were like, switch to manual.
Exactly.
It'll be painful for a day,
right,
and then you will knock 10 seconds off your lap time. And it did. You know, that was the push I needed to
And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted players to challenge themselves. We wanted them to feel like they had to do it in order to be better drivers. See, I'm talking and driving being terrible. So here we are in Suzuka. A track that's making a great return. It's a track we had in Forza Motorsport 4. It's awesome to bring it back here.
Oh,
and so it's in the middle of a storm. And this is one of the things, again, going to the Xbox One X. We had obviously native 4K, a rock-solid 60 frames per second, and HDR. And, man, I cannot speak enough about HDR. But we wanted to reimagine the track experience. So here you're going to have a dynamic storm that's going to roll through. And, again, you know, we want that feeling of I'm driving, and off in the distance I see dark clouds, and they start to roll through. I hear thunder, a couple raindrops. Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of a storm, and the puddles are going to expand and contract based on the rain density. But it wasn't just that. We wanted to do it with sky cloud shadows as well. So, you know, a racing game, as you know, is all about precision and hitting your apex and consistency. Cloud shadows, they really change the composition of a turn. You're used to what the light looks like in your brake markers, and when a cloud rolls through it, that changes everything.
The reflections it just looks incredible.
Yeah.
I love the headlights off in the distance there, Ryan.
One of the other new things we wanted to reimagine for players is just that feeling of what it looks like to have a car at peak. And so we went through all 700 cars and touched up wipers and mirrors to make it feel more, you know, thrilling. A car at peak it could be a scary thing, you know, hearing the driveline flex. On the show floor, players can actually take the GTR out, and that's a race car, and so it's got exposed wiring and hoses, and they're just rattling and shaking like crazy.
It's really interesting. I did a panel yesterday with Henry Ford III, which was awesome to meet him, and Harry Tinknell, who's a WEC driver, and that was what he picked out about Forza Motorsport 7. And, you know, he said, look, he was blown away by the look of it. Looks incredible, felt incredible, but he was saying the thing that felt so close to real racing for him were those details. The fact that things are rattling in the cockpit, and it felt like you were on the limit of the car.
And that's exactly what we wanted to convey to players is like these machines at peak, they can really scare you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pull off to the side and let them win. I just want to show off a little bit of the detail really quickly. Again, this is showing up here in 4K and HDR. But again, when we started to develop, for PC these last few years, again, we were able to lower our min spec. But if you were to plug the Xbox One X into 1080p TV, it's going to look great. It's going to downsample to 1080p. And that was important for us. HDRs, it's not in all TVs yet. So this game is really future-proof. But if you were to plug it into your TV that you have at home, it's going to look awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, isn't it? It looks amazing.
So I just got some points. I made it through, and I'm gonna show you a little bit about my rewards here.
All right.
So I got some mods, got a little bit of credits payout. Obviously got a big total there, 29 million. So one of the things, again, we wanted to reimagine is leveling. And it's exactly as you'd expect. You race, you get XP, you level up. With this whole new system now that's tied to car collection. And I'll explain how that works. So if I go from 26 to 27, I get a choice of rewards from credits, car discounts, mods, exclusive driver gear. Now, the way it works is the more cars I collect, I move up in collection tiers. And the higher the tier, the better those rewards are going to be. So I may, get 100,000 credits or 200,000 credits. The driver gear may be ultra legendary because I have the highest collection tier. And what's great about that, again, is players can then, you see I'm a 4 collection tier. The higher the tier, it's going to show up next to your gamer tag. And people are going to know based on the suit, your collection tier, that you're a hardcore player. You're collecting cars. And you can collect them in tons of different ways. Auction house. Forzathon is a feature we brought over from Forza Horizon 3.
Excellent.
Players will be able to buy it in a brand new car collection screen, which is really exciting.
It feels like you're really making an effort to encourage Forza players to try out every part of the game.
Absolutely.
Collect more cars, different types of cars. Use
Dip
the
your
mods
toes.
to push yourself forward in your
And
driving
again,
skills.
I didn't even get a chance to talk about our peripherals, so we've got assist, so it's easy to play. But with multi-USB support, we've got over 30 officially supported wheels. But again, with multi-USB, you can take any wheel pedal combination, H-pattern shifters. I keep telling this story, but it's true. We tried all sorts of crazy stuff, like a Guitar Hero guitar we were talking about.
Absolutely.
And that's awesome. PlayStation racers, they can use the PC, plug in their DualShock.
Right.
We really want to bring players of all skill types, peripherals, and devices together in Forza Motorsport 7.
Can I request, once you get back home to Turn 10 Studios, can I request that you and Brian Eckberg do a
100%.
Do a Guitar Hero?
I'll do the dance pad one because that one's really hard because you got to do a lot of movement. Yeah,
maybe 24 hours of Le Mans.
All right, let's
on a Guitar Hero guitar.
24 seconds of Le Mans. We'll do that. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what else have you got coming up this week at Gamescom then?
Again, we've been showing off the car. We're showing off the demo that we have. Later this month we're going to be talking about a demo that we're going to release for both PC and console. Honestly, I can't wait. We didn't even get a chance to talk about multiplayer and all the stuff we're going to be doing with multiplayer. And while we're here, Mixer integration. Mixer broadcasting in 4K, being able to see, the dad sweater in 4K, getting thrown around the cockpit.
Yeah.
It's not just a competitive sport. It makes it a really great spectating sport as well.
Yeah, that must be really exciting for the work you do with the Forza Racing Championship.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Leagues is one of our stepping stones to the Forza Racing Championship, where we're going to be tiering people based on their skill, and they're going to learn about clean racing as they move their way up to hopefully someday be able to compete in the Forza Racing Championship.
Excellent. I mean, you mentioned the demo there. I'm really excited about that. Can you give us any?
It will come out
little hints
before the end of the year. No. It'll come out before we release. How about that?
What's going to be in it, though?
So I'm excited. It's going to be very similar to the experiences you see here. We're going to give 3 demo experiences. People are going to be able to check out some unique gear. They're going to check out some rain, and we're really excited.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Forza demos are big, man.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
I love it.
I can't
That's
wait.
one of my favorite times of the year. All right, and remind us when the Forza Motorsport 7, the full game's coming out.
Comes out October 3rd on Xbox One and PC for the Deluxe and Standard Edition. Ultimate Edition players can play it 4 days earlier on September 29th. And then it'll be available on November 7th for the launch of the Xbox One X.
All right, Bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you.